Alright, so this is a new tutorial regarding the render view. So where I've previously left off, here is my rim light, and I'm gonna go into make sure it's rendering, set, spacebar. I'm just gonna kind of do this, put this down like that, and then let me see, I'm gonna go click here, this clapper, right, with the eyeball, which is gonna show this. So regarding the render view, um, you know, the main things is basically leave everything alone. Don't mess with anything. Just make sure that here, right, that you pick the right camera. So that's set to perspective. Even though you have the right camera, it may initially render out another camera, meaning the second one, perspective one. So just be aware of that. Let it run its thing, run its course, and then select again and then re-render it, and it should update. So just be aware of that. All this other stuff, just don't mess with it, right? Just save yourself headache. Just don't touch it. And then this other stuff, just leave alone, right? Down here, this is the, if I click here, this is where the thumbnails snapshots will be stored if you choose to save them after you do a render. That way you can test them before and after. And this here is to save it, which I'm going to do afterwards. I'm going to grab this, and I think I want to chuck it, I don't know, maybe here. So I grab it, and I have the channel box open. The channel box seems to help to sink it in there. There you go. Because without the channel box showing, it gives me a hard time. So just something to be aware of. Anyhow, so I just have a generic setup, right? And then from here, I grab this, zoom in, make sure it's pointing the right way, right? It's pointing the right way. It's from behind. Make sure it's above the floor. And I have this area light, sky dome, right? So also the sky dome, because there's a synergy where the sky dome, it has to work in harmony or balancing out with the rim light, right? And along with all the other lights. And then even further, it's balancing out with the shaders as well. So there's like a whole balancing act. Yeah. So from there, typically the sky dome, again, just to make sure, just set the intensity to 0.3. It'll give it a, like a soft, generic ambient feel to the scene, and also throws in color. But the color that it throws in, it all depends on which sky dome that you chose. So if you chose like an evening sky dome, or if you chose a studio room sky dome, it will affect the subject matter in terms of the reflections, in terms of the strength of the um, ambient lighting, and all of that. The source of the light. See, the source of the light in this one is coming from here. It's going to be blasting down. Yeah. And if you really want to, you could rotate it and change the directions of the source light. Like that. Just make sure that you don't tilt it like this. Don't do things like this. That's just bananas. So I just letting you know ahead of time. Right now it's locked out. Going back into here, what I'm gonna do is, let me just do this, do that one last time. I know it's gonna be annoying. Just make sure your sky dome light is set to 0.3, and you have your samples set to 2. You could leave the exposure alone, just drop the intensity, and that's it. Alright, just to make sure. Then the rim light, here's my rim light. I currently have it at exposure at 7, right? If I press 4 in here, you'll notice that the grid is down here. So I'm showing the grid as a comparison. You know, the size of the grid versus the size of the subject matter. And right now, everything is measured in centimeters. So yeah, I just had to mention that. It has to do with real world scale, and how it affects the lighting and everything else. From what I remember, in terms of the lighting, um, it is sensitive to it to whichever extent. I'm not a expert on it or anything like that, but I think it should be manageable. Like it shouldn't cause any crazy artifacts or whatever at this size, typically. Anyway, so rim light, I jacked it up to 7. Before previously it was 0, and we have the roundness at 1. It has to do with how the shadows and the lighting affects the subject matter from what I remember. I just know that every time I set it to 1 and the soft edge to 1, it seems to just make nicer renders in terms of how the shadows interact and or how the lighting affects the subject. It's, it's the best way I can explain it. I just make it 1 and 1, this and this. I don't mess with this. I don't mess with that. I don't mess with that. This is just to turn it on or off. I don't mess with that. If I wanted to turn it off, I just select it and press Control H, and that will basically nullify the light. Wait. Alright. So H and H. Alright. And I jacked up the transmission to 1 from what I mentioned previously, and that's it. Don't mess with the color of the light. Don't mess with the color of the shadow. Just leave all of that alone. Because if you start tweaking other things, things are going to happen and it gets frustrating and hard to pinpoint. So with that being said, here's the light source, right? Here, this stuff. And two things are shaded with bump maps. So that probably will have to be tuned afterwards too. Just letting you know ahead of time. Alright, so I'm gonna pump in a render. Now the size of this, right, and how you handle it is Alt. You always hold on Alt. You can zoom in or out, or you could zoom in and out by the mouse scroll. You could pan by holding Alt and middle mouse, right? Pan and zoom in and out by Alt mouse scroll. Yeah. And if you want more fine-tuned control of the zooming in, you hold on the Alt key and the right mouse button and just kind of drag and tap, like that. I'm gonna leave it like that. The size of this, right, is under the clapper with the gearbox that I went over in the first video, I believe. Down under common, and then HD 1080. Just a refresher. Okay, so I'm gonna go and the hotkey to do a render is Control U. I repeat, it's Control U. So it's rendering, right? There it is. And this here is just 1:1, like that. And then I want to check my render settings, right? The gearbox and the clapper, mainly under Arnold Renderer, under rate depth. So I have it at 16 total, 4, 4, and 8. I've discussed this in class. So that's 4 bounces on the color, 4 bounces on the shine bounces, specular, and then I add up this, and this to give it 16. So this is a little bit heavy-handed, but it will, for the most part, handle any, complex and moderately complex scenes that has glass, multiple glass materials, metals, things like that. And then down here, imagers, to have the denoiser. Odin cleans up any noise. Okay, down here I'm gonna click this, saves a snapshot. Then from there, I'm just wondering if it did anything. If I select this, and I'm just curious to see if it did anything under exposure. Let me jack it up to 20 just to see if it is working. Control U. Okay, it is working. I just had to test it out. Okay, it is working. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm going to set the exposure to 0, right? And then I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna kill this off. I'm gonna do another render. Control U. That only was 6 seconds. So in here, let me see. I'm gonna save a snapshot. Make sure that this is checked off. This Wi-Fi signal, right, looking like a Wi-Fi signal basically means interactive rendering. For now, just leave it alone. Make sure it's like that. Just leave all that alone. This here, with this selected, in the comments, I'm gonna type in only sky dome lighting at 0.3, because that's what the sky dome lighting was at, 0.3 on the exposure. Okay, there. I let go of it. I select it, you see it. I unselect it, you don't see it. All right, so this is literally my baseline. Then I'm gonna turn on the light, right? Set it to like say 7, like I mentioned. Then I'm gonna do a render, Control U. So basically I'm showing step-by-step workflow. I just start with the rim light. So I'm gonna zoom in and then middle mouse to kind of pan close up. See, it barely did anything. See over here? Right there. So this tells me, you know what, 7 is relatively minor. If I look down here in the contact shadows, super minor. So I'm gonna make it 9. So this one, you know what, I'm gonna save it. You click here, there, and I'm gonna type in here rim light at 7. That was what it was previously rendered at. And then click outside, so that way you can see what's happening. Now, right now, as you can see, I've made it 9. I jumped it up to 9. Right, so this was 7. This was only the sky dome. Then this was 7, which barely shows anything at all. So, and then now the rim light is at 9. Let's do a render. Control U. Okay, we have more. See? And let's look here. Let's just save that. Okay. And then you'll notice sometimes if I click in here, it selects things. That's because it's interactive. If I click on this, it'll grab that. If I click on that, it grab that. So I'm just explaining like why is this doing some weird stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna grab this and I'm gonna make it come in closer, like to here. Like so, before, after. So almost halfway. And I'm gonna show how it affects the distance. Getting closer affects the lighting. So Control U. looking here. So it got a little bit more stronger. Wait, no, wait, no. Yeah. This one is at 9. So this one I'm gonna type in rim light exposure at 9. So this is 7, this is 9, and it's closer. Exposure at 9 and closer to subject. Okay, good. So basically it's methodical, right? See the highlight down here? See, it gives it fakes ambient lighting where it softens the core shadows so it's not so contrasted, you know. All right, so that's that. I think maybe, you know what, I think I'll leave it like that. And then let's say I make another light, right? So I grab this, I do Control D as in David. It made another light. I'm gonna move it like this. I'm gonna call this left what should I call this? Left side, left rim light. And then I'm gonna press D as in David. D as in David. I'm gonna move it over right here. Press E as in Edward. I'm gonna just turn. So it's gonna wrap around like that. Whoa, what the hell is this? Whoa. It's probably nothing. And then make it like, I don't know, minus 130 or minus 140, minus 100, minus 120, 120. And then here, Control U. What the hell is going on with this? Whatever, man. So basically I'm kind of just surrounding it a bit to wrap around. And then after that I'm gonna make a key light. Come on, man. I'm gonna do an incremental save. Fine, I'll pull it up again, the clapper with the eyeball. Oh, okay, so there's some subtle, see? So this was the main rim light from behind at 9, and it's closer up. See how much this helps, right? If I unselect it, if I zoom in and I select it, right? And if I deselect it, it will show what this light did. So unselect it. And then I'm gonna select the old snapshot, so it's darker. I'm gonna unselect the old snapshot. See? Like that, see? Alright, so I had to pause the video for a bit. I'm gonna grab this light, the left rim light, and then go into the attribute editor. Because it's super minor in terms of the strength, I'm gonna put it to like say 11. So instead of 9, I'm gonna make it 11. Hit enter. So again, this is the left rim light on the side. And then I'm gonna do Control U. So so it's much more noticeable. So this here, right, this is just the regular rim light. Remember this guy. And that guy, I had it at exposure at 9, and it's also a little bit more closer. But now, if I let go of this, there is my left rim light. So before, after. See, nice little kick over here on the shine, and you see a little bit more nicer here. Before, after, before, after. And you notice here, this contact shadow is getting lighter now to mimic ambient fill lighting interacting with the core shadow. See, little baby steps at a time. And you notice the floor has a subtle little brightness, but not enough to be distracting as of yet. See? So this is good enough. I like that. I'm gonna save the snapshot, right, with the extra little fill on the left. I'm gonna just click here. That's all I gotta do. This, I'm gonna write down left, I guess rim light, or you could just call it fill light, left rim light fill or whatever. Left rim light at 11 for exposure, right? At 11 for exposure, because when you select it, it's at 11. Well, this one is at 9. Yeah. So that's how I kind of do the process regarding, adding lights step by step. And then the next one, what's gonna happen is I grab this, I do Control D as in, I'm gonna save it like that. I'm not gonna go further. If I go further, the video is gonna run into like past 25, 26, 27 minutes. I wanna cut it short. I promise that will make the video short, so unfortunately I have to leave it like this for now. But as you can see, the process is being made and shown, right? Step by step. Yeah, so I'll leave it like that. And hopefully the next video I'll show on the right side, which just is gonna be a copy of this. Right, all right, bye-bye.